Welcome to my channel. Join me as I explore the topic of love your neighbor as yourself. One of the most profound principles found in many cultures and religions is the commandment to love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:39. It's a simple phrase that holds immense power, and yet it's often overlooked in today's society. But what if I told you that embracing this commandment could be the key to transforming our communities and our own lives? In this video, we're going to dive deeper into the meaning of love your neighbor as yourself and explore how it can be applied in our daily lives. One of the biggest challenges we face in truly loving our neighbor is indifference. We get caught up in our own lives and struggles, and before we know it, we become desensitized to the people around us. We stop noticing the person struggling to carry their groceries, the couple arguing on the street, or the lonely neighbor who always seems to be alone. We become so focused on our own problems that we forget to look out for one another. Another challenge we face is conflict. Whether it's a disagreement with a coworker, a feud with a family member, or a heated debate with a stranger online, conflict is a natural part of life. But how often do we let those conflicts turn into full-blown wars, where we forget to treat the other person with kindness and respect? How often do we let our differences divide us instead of bringing us closer together? Lack of understanding is another major obstacle we face. We assume we know what's best for others, without taking the time to truly listen to their stories, their struggles, and their fears. We make judgments based on surface-level appearances, without digging deeper to find common ground. And worst of all, we often let our own biases and prejudices get in the way of building meaningful connections with those around us. In a world where loneliness and isolation are on the rise, it's more crucial than ever that we learn to love our neighbors as ourselves. But how do we do that? How do we move from mere acquaintances to true friends and confidants? The answer lies in taking the time to truly see and understand those around us. So what does it mean to truly love our neighbors as ourselves? It means seeing them as an extension of ourselves, as fellow human beings who deserve our love, our kindness, and our compassion. It means treating them with the same care and concern that we would want for ourselves. It means being patient, understanding, and empathetic, even when it's hard. For instance, have you ever noticed how a simple act of kindness can change someone's entire day? A smile, a listening ear, or a helping hand can be the difference between a good day and a bad one. It's amazing how often we forget that small gestures can have a profound impact on those around us. And it's not just about grand, heroic acts. Even the smallest expressions of love and kindness can make a world of difference. Take, for example, the story of a woman who started a neighborhood cooking group. Every week, she would invite her neighbors over for dinner, sharing stories, laughter, and a home-cooked meal. It started with just a handful of people, but soon the group grew to include dozens of families. It became a space where people could connect, share their struggles, and find support. And slowly but surely, the community began to transform. One particular family, who had been struggling to make ends meet, found solace in the group. The woman would often take them under her wing, offering them food, clothing, and even job opportunities. And as the family's circumstances began to improve, they started paying it forward, helping others in need. It was a ripple effect of kindness that spread far and wide, all because one person decided to take the time to love their neighbors as themselves. In the midst of conflict, loneliness, and division, it's easy to lose hope. But stories like these remind us that there is always a way forward. They remind us that even in the darkest of times, love and compassion can be the light that guides us. So what have we learned today? We've seen that loving our neighbors as ourselves is not just some lofty ideal. It's a practical, everyday choice that can transform our lives and our communities. We've seen that it's not about grand, heroic acts, but about small, consistent expressions of love and kindness. And we've seen that when we choose to love our neighbors as ourselves, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities, connections, and transformations. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What does love your neighbor as yourself mean to you? How have you seen this principle play out in your own life or community? And if you're interested in exploring more videos on love, community, and kindness, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.